going on, guys? You're watching Gamer Logic, and today I kind of wanted to go through a box of stuff I got from one of my dispatchers at work. On Friday, he actually called me up and said that he found a whole bunch of old video game stuff, and he asked if I wanted it. He said if not, he was going to throw it in the dumpster. Of course, I said yes, I wanted it. And he said he would leave it in his car on Monday, which was today. And, well, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I got a few different things. I figured I'd go through them and kind of talk about them. First off, we got the obvious, which is an NES in pretty good shape. I could do a little bit of a cleaning, which won't be a problem. I clean these things from inside and out, so always nice to have another NES. I'll have to go through the cartridge contacts and all that good stuff. NES Satellite. I've never actually had one of these. Kind of handy. You can do wireless with it and everything, and it's good up to 4 players. Great for games like Nightmare on Elm Street. We got one of these Nintendo cleaning cartridges. I don't believe this is actually the original Nintendo one. I might be wrong about that, but it's funny. It's got little cleaning kits in it that you put on the cartridge and everything. There's a wet process. Remove the cleaner wand and cleaning pad from the cleaner case. You will also need the fluid. There's no fluid, but I can make my own. As gross as that sounds. On to the games. We got probably, I want to say, maybe like 20-ish games in this box, and a lot of them were great. First up is Pinbot. Very cool NES pinball game. It's been a long time since I played this. Love Pinbot, actually, the actual physical pinball machine. I'll have to throw that on and see what I think. Classic here, Adventure Island. Great game. Used to love playing this when I was a little kid. The Chess Master. You know, if I want to play chess, I'll play real chess. But the title just kind of reminds me of when I used to call chess when I was a little kid. Though I'm sure I would prefer a chess master, if you get my drift. Next up, extra copy of Rad Racer. Probably my favorite moment about Rad Racer is not even actually the gameplay, but that video I did a couple months back with the 3D glasses. And a lot of people, probably half the people that watched the video, didn't get that I was being sarcastic the entire way through. There was no way I was actually going to see any 3D images off those movie theater glasses. And even funnier was the fact when I said I was going to do the overlay to show you guys what it looked like. I took Forza Motorsport and put it over it. And some people were like, wow, that's amazing. Some people take things a little too serious, but for those who got it, I'm glad you did. Next up, we're looking at Monopoly. Another one of those games that I'd rather actually play the physical board than sit around my NES for 12 hours, but hey, I'll take it. It was free, why not? Here's a game I actually don't have in my collection, oddly enough, and growing up as a kid, I love the Turtles. They're right up there with Thundercats and everything else. And the first Turtles game isn't really considered the best out of the bunch, but I had fun with it. It was Turtles, and it was the only Turtles game at the time when it came out, and it was just tons of fun. So, good to have that one in the collection finally. There's another double I got, and that is Ninja Gaiden. Great game. Actually, the first NES game my dad bought me, apart from the Nintendo controller set. I'll never forget him getting his first work bonus and picking up this cartridge and playing it for years and years until I finally beat it. Played this on the live stream from a couple months ago too, and beat it on the live stream. That was a lot of fun. Great game though. Love the whole series, maybe with the exception of number 3. Blades of Steel, Konami classic here. I haven't played this one in a very long time. I think I may prefer ice hockey over it, but again, it's been such a long time that I don't quite remember. I think I like the fact that you just beat the crap out of each other in this game if you wanted to. This is what me and my little brother were notorious for when we played hockey games together, was how do you get it in fight mode. Thank God for Street Fighter 2 a couple years later. Battletoads. I believe I already have a copy of this. Fun game and frustrating game at the same time. Great game until you get to the goddamn turbo bikes. Man, that would just annoy the crap out of me, and kind of annoys me even more just thinking about it, especially playing with my little brother. If the second player died during the turbo bike scene, it would start you over. Oh, God. Super Mario Brothers 3. I already got a copy of it, but it's always nice to have an extra Mario sitting around, especially number 3. Another great game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Awesome game, of course. The arcade version is superior, but again, at the time, this was great. 2-player action, tons of fun. I'll never forget looking in the back of the rented manual we had of this, and they had a coupon in it for Pizza Hut. And I was like begging my parents, hey, we had a coupon, can we get some Pizza Hut? The answer was no. Pizza Hut's bad for you anyway. Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario, you know, I'm not a big fan of puzzle games, but Dr. Mario still has some of the greatest pieces of music in it for an NES game. Right now I should consult the doctor about the massive sunburn that I have, and it even hurts to move around at the moment, but great game. Konami's Double Dribble. Okay basketball game. I haven't played it in years. Kind of forgettable. Tetris. It's Tetris. You can't really go wrong with Tetris. I prefer the Game Boy version just because it's so portable. But a lot of fun. Not the 10-gin version or 10-gin version of it, but Tetris nonetheless. Here's one I was kind of shocked to actually find, especially because this is kind of a rarer one, and this is Kirby's Adventure. I don't remember if this is just a simple port of Kirby's Dream Land from the Game Boy, or if this is actually a sequel of some sorts. I remember this came out pretty late in the NES life cycle, maybe like 94, I want to say. I think I remember reading it in Nintendo Power then. Of course, they don't have a date on this thing, so I can't really say offhand, but I'm pretty sure that was near the end of the life cycle. Super Mario Brothers 2, otherwise known as a sprite swap with Doki Doki Panic. Hey, I liked Mario 2. I thought it was fun. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. So many people hate this game. I love it. It's been a long time since I've played it, but I remember playing the living crap out of it. It recalls a memory of me seeing it at a Walmart, brand new. I think it was like 40, 50 bucks, and granted at the time I didn't have much of an allowance or anything, so we put the thing on layaway, and you know, I was paying it off every opportunity I had, and was getting really close to probably about realistically halfway to paying it off. And there was a local game store in the same town called Video Game Adventures. It was really cool. They'd take a picture of you, you'd get an ID, and you could rent games. But she had a small amount of used Nintendo games as well. And I went in there going to rent a game, and sure as crap, there was a copy of Zelda 2, granted no box, no manual. I really didn't care though, for 15 bucks. So what did I do? I went to Walmart, I got my money back. They complained about how used game stores were putting them out of business. It's Walmart, come on, you sell a lot more than video games. But I think it's kind of funny that, you know, even stores back then were complaining about used game stores. I got my money, grabbed my copy of Zelda 2, and played the living crap out of it during the summer. Eventually beat it. I still like it. Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. I can't say if I've ever played either of these. Just kidding, of course. Throw that in with my NES control deck set. Tecmo Bowl. People go crazy for this game. I think it's pretty good for a football game. I'm not a big football fan. I don't play the Madden games or anything. But, great game. It's been ported many times, but this is by far the best version of it. And over here, as I smash my elbow on the desk, RBI Baseball, probably one of my favorite baseball games actually on the NES system. This is when we played the most. Bases Loaded was pretty good, but I think I like this one a bit better. My little brother used to play this like crazy too. Another great game by Atari. The original Legend of Zelda. You know, me and my buddy Randy were talking about how obtuse some of the Zelda games can be, and he actually played this for the first time just recently, and was just saying, you know, how annoying it is to find like certain secrets and stuff like that. You know, burning every bush and blowing up every cave to try to find secrets and stuff like that. And you know, I still think this game is a classic and everything, but I kind of see his point too. You really had to invest a lot of time in this to get all the secrets. And finally, we have a copy of Dragon Warrior. Now I've actually been kind of going through the Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest sequels on my blog lately. I did a live stream of 2, which, really didn't do too much for me. And I looked at 4, actually, and it was a little bit more fun. But I don't know what it is, but 2 and 4 just didn't bring it to me just like the first one did. Maybe because this was the first real RPG I ever played. But this is probably still my favorite Dragon Warrior Dragon Quest game, so I still haven't really played any of the new ones, so we may see. But along with that, it actually came with the instruction book, which is awesome. It's been years since I've seen that. From the Nintendo Power magazine, with Super C on the other side of it, is the whole map of the first game universe, which is kind of cool. There's Super C on the other side. So I thought that was pretty cool. And along with it is the Dragon Warrior Explorer's Handbook. I don't remember if this came in the original box or if this was the special you got if you registered with Nintendo Power during the promotion. This actually recalls another memory for me. We were playing Dragon Warrior. Me and my sister were really, really into the game. Probably one of the few games she was actually really into. And we saw the Nintendo Power special. Really cheesy. He had this dude holding like a chains and shield and stuff like that. And the promotion was if you subscribed to Nintendo Power, they'd send you the game and they'd send you the guide. And I believe this Explorer's Handbook was actually the guide. And my parents didn't go for the offer. They thought it was too much money. And we didn't get the game, but we borrowed the game for a really, really long time from some people before we got our own copy. And me and my sister were stumped on the game for a really, really long time. I actually ended up writing Nintendo Power, the game counselors, and they'd write you back with letters. I wish I would have kept those. And they told me how to get, Edric's armor and his sword and his shield. Maybe there wasn't a shield. There was something that wasn't on there. I think it was a shield, actually. But, all the tips and tricks and stuff like that to find all the stuff. So it was pretty interesting. But, yeah, that's pretty much everything there, along with, the zapper and the power packs and the control pads and everything. But I got all that for free. It was really nice for Pete to actually give that to me. That's the dispatcher's name. Really cool. Glad I have it in my collection rather than seeing it sit in a dumpster somewhere, because that would have just been sad. And I think actually that brings up my NES game total to like 215 NES games, so that's pretty cool. But that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's always nice going through these games and talk about a little bit. I don't do that part very often, so I figured why not. Have a good one, guys. I'll have another episode up for you guys soon. Peace.
The high-action pulp fantasy trilogy begins. Rogue's Bane by Rick A. Ferraro. Now available on Amazon.com and all Kindle-enabled devices. Buy your copy today. The legendary adventures of Talon continues in On Earth Destiny by Rick A. Ferraro. Now available on Amazon.com and all Kindle-enabled devices. Buy your copy today.